Hey beauties, it's Riri. If you're new here, I'm an over 40 lover of all things beauty and I love showcasing indie brands here on my channel. Speaking of indie brands, we're going to be playing with the brand new Cyborg Choir Palette from Adept Cosmetics. I've used this quite a bit off camera, so I have some thoughts for you guys. I'm going to do a very easy look, one that I did the other day that I really loved. And then we are going to do some in-depth swatches. So here is our color story. And I love the preface of having beautiful shimmer shade. There are some duochromes and some multi-chromes, but there are also holochromes. And then we have some mattes as well. So I'm going to dive in and we'll do swatches very quickly, and then I'll do a super easy look. My brows are already done and I am already prepped. So first up is Binary Beat. This is a holochrome. I will note that most of these have a little bit of texture to them, a little bit of a flake, if you will. And then some of them also feel a little bit more putty-like. So if you do have oily lids, I would definitely recommend using a base. And this one here is like a beautiful kind of fiery periwinkle, if that makes any sense. Like it's purple, but it's got like a lot of kind of blue in there. And this is definitely one of the holochromes. It is stunning. Next up is Android Aura. This also is one of the holochromes. This one feels slightly smoother. I do definitely also recommend y'all that you do your eyes first. Next up is Laser Lights. This one also is a little bit more kind of flaky in the pan. And this one has a ton of like silver sparkle and stuff in it. So incredibly beautiful. Next up is Voltage Violet, and this is a kind of fiery violet pinky shade. It's so incredibly pretty. Tons of sparkle in this one as well. Next up is Mechanical Muse. That is another holochrome. This one is a little bit more opaque, and I feel like the holochrome effect here is very apparent. Next up is Robo Rose. This one feels a little more putty-like, but very smooth. And oh my gosh, is this a me shade? It is so incredibly beautiful. Next up is Pixelated Pulse, which is the other holochrome. And this one is a lot more opaque as well, the same way that Mechanical Muse was. And I do see the holo shift in here way easier than in some of the other ones. Next up is Digital Harmony. This one is very, very soft and squishy in the pan. So again, I would just be cautious. And this one has a beautiful shift of like green. There's some blue. There's some purple in here. Very, very pretty. Very much like, for me, like an ethereal type of shade. Very mermaid type of shade. Next up is Cybernetic Spark. I'm seeing a true kind of royal blue purple. You guys are seeing like a more greeny teal shade. This one's not quite as soft in the pan. And they all blend out incredibly smooth. Like, they're beautiful once applied. Just some of them I feel like maybe are not as beginner friendly. Next up is Cyber Symphony. This is one I've used quite a bit and I love it. If you did not know, yellow and pink are my all-time favorite colors. This one here is very, very squishy and, dare I say, a little bit too wet, a little too emollient. So just noting that for you guys. Here are the first four mattes. We have Synthetic Soundwave, 77, Boring Circuit, and Robotic Fusion. I am going to note these are not my favorite mattes. You can get them to work, and I really am, happy with this purchase. They're just not my favorite. They are pressed a little bit harder, in my opinion, and they're slightly more dry, and they take a little while to build up. So just noting that for you guys. The lemony shade called 7. Again, they're not horrible. You can get them where you need them to be, but it does take some work. You do really have to build them and layer them. So I'm just noting that for y'all. I'm extremely impressed by all of the like metallic shimmer type shades. Again, I definitely recommend doing your eyes first because you are going to get a lot of fallout, and just kind of take a less is more approach with these. You don't want to dig completely in here. You're going to mess up the pans. So those are the swatches. I am already prepped with my ABH eye primer. I'm going to go ahead and press that out to make sure that I do not have any creasing. And then I'm going to put on some tape. If you are using regular Scotch tape versus eye tapes, I definitely recommend putting it on the back of your hand and then applying it. We want sticky, but we don't want it so sticky that it's going to pull and tug on our skin. I'm literally going to go in with Boring Circuit, and then I'm going to go in with Cyber Symphony on the inner corner. We'll see if I want to play with something else. But that is a look that I did recently, and I loved it. I will say that these do blend out really well and stuff like that. Like, they're incredibly blendable. You're not going to get like super pigmented out the gate. And I know some people don't mind that. I don't mind that. I don't mind working a little bit with, the shadows, but I always just like to be transparent with you guys. You do have to kind of build them up a little bit. Staying power is incredibly important to me, and I do feel like they last well on my lids, and this is now my 4th or 5th time using this. I did also use the black on one of my clients recently, and I also used the shimmer shades on my niece recently. So I definitely have plenty of experience now with the palette, and like I said, we're getting there. It's definitely a little less pigmented, which that could be a good thing. A little bit less pigmented, and then like this one right here, it barely shows up. Like I feel like if you have deeper skin, unless you use a white base, I don't know how well that's going to show up because it barely shows up on me. These two right here, I can also get to a really good place. So, you know, they're not horrible. It's just, they're not my favorite. That's all. And I'm literally following that tape and doing just a winged out shape. And I'm keeping it just on the very bottom part right here on this little tiny part of my bottom lid near my lower lash line. And normally I would go in with something a little bit smaller than this, but I do also want like the ends to be just a little bit more diffused. And then from here, no product. And I'm not trying to take it up high. I literally am just buffing my edges ever so slightly, as you guys can see. And this is so easy too, you guys. I mean, I definitely try to make sure that everything here is very beginner friendly. Throw on a little piece of tape or eye tapes, do whatever matte you want to use, and then throw on a shimmer and put a cool pop of whatever on the inner corner. I think that's incredibly easy to do. I also really like to go in and do 3 shimmer shades. I will start with a, you know, lighter shimmer shade, put it on the inner corner in the first part of the lid, and then I'll go in with a shimmer shade slightly deeper, and then so on and so forth. But I literally just go in with my fingers and press them out, and it's literally a look, you guys. I think that we sometimes feel like in order to kind of play with color, it has to be something that's very intricate or something that's complicated, and it does not have to be. I mean, I literally I'm slapping this on, you guys. Like, and that's another good thing too. That's a look. That's another good thing too, is that if you start with your eyes first, you can literally just go crazy. I mean, I'm not even trying to be careful here at all. I mean, I don't want to go up high or anything like that. But you can literally just kind of go crazy, and then if you mess it up, literally wipe it away. Or you can take, you know, micellar water and a Q-tip and clean it up. It's not the end of the world. And at the end of the day, it's about feeling like the best version of yourself. So whatever that means. You know, if you do wing liner every single day and you like more intricate looks, beautiful, great. If you like, you know, soft, neutral, natural looks all the time, great. And I will note too, like if you are somebody that is really afraid of color, you could go in and do, you know, a softer brown. You don't have to go in with black for it to be more smoky or kind of more out there, if you will. You can go in with a softer color, and then if you wanted to use a little bit of, you can go in with a softer neutral, and then if you wanted to pop with a little bit of color, I like to, honestly, like the other day, I literally did a liner and then popped the yellow in my inner corner. That was it. So if you're afraid of color, maybe opt for doing something where, you know, you do a little bit of a base of something or throw something in the crease and then do a green eyeliner. You know, green mascara, blue mascara, a little pop of yellow or hot pink or something in the inner corner. It doesn't have to be like the entire eye look being that way. So I'm going to remove this, and you see I got just a tiny bit of fallout from that black, not a whole lot at all. And now when I remove this, I have that nice, perfect, sharp wing that I'm looking for. And then from here, I'm going to take a smaller brush, and I'm only going to follow what's already there for me. So again, very, very easy, very beginner friendly. I'm going to go in with a teeny tiny little pencil brush, and I'm just going to follow this exactly where, you know, the tape kind of has guided me to follow it from. And again, it's there. It's black, it's pigmented. You just have to work with it a little bit, and it kind of can take a couple of layers. All right, now I'm gonna go in just with my pinky finger. I'm going on with Cyber Symphony, which is the yellow. And I'm going to put this pretty heavily on the inner corner and the first little part of my lid. Like I said, I do not feel like I need a tacky base with these. I have, you know, had great success not using it. And then if you do have an issue and you're having a hard time picking up the shades, you know, if you're trying to use a brush or something like that, maybe wet your brush. Or I have found that using just kind of an old school, you know, sponge tip applicator also works beautifully. And again, we can be nice and messy because we do not have our base on yet. And I am a fan too of laying down, especially doing like a black base and then popping it with like whatever, you know, shimmer or metallic shade you want to pop on top of it. It's just going to make it look that much more special and beautiful. This looks so good. Now I'm kind of just tapping into the shade, and I want it to be a little bit more sporadic up here and just kind of look like, I don't know, like a twinkling night sky or something. I'm really having a good time with this. This is my very first palette from Adept as well. And I have to say, other than the mattes just not being quite as richly pigmented and you just kind of have to work with them. Other than that though, man, I'm impressed. Like I absolutely would purchase again. Now, I was gonna stop here and just kind of keep it like this, but I feel like I should use another shade, but I don't want to go super opaque. I think I want to do Digital Harmony. I think that would also look really pretty with this. And again, I'm only tapping in. And I kind of want it to be not like super, super opaque. Oh, that's pretty. And again, tapping it, whatever little bit's left, kind of up towards the brow bone. That looks incredible. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm having a great time with this palette, you guys. And thank y'all for still wanting to see this. It did sell out, and then they are also going to be bringing it back. I'm not sure if that's a pre-order or not. Of course, I will link them down below. And this is a little bit of a pricier palette. I think I paid $78. And then I did use a 10% off code. I either used Amyloves or Annette. It was one or the other, I think. But I'll pop all that down below for you guys. So again, really trying to make sure that I don't take away from like the intensity of the wing itself. And then still just tapping in and just kind of, again, making it a little bit more like sparse and sporadic up here. Sorry if you hear my fur baby. Oh yeah, that is so pretty. And you guys saw, I literally, anybody could do this. I literally just went in and flicked that black all over the tape, removed it, cleaned it up, and then I'm just going in with my fingers. So I'll get up close. And I will clean it up a little bit more than this. I would opt to either do a black liner, or if you have like a really pretty chartreusey shade or something like that, you could also pop that with something really bold. I am going to be filming another video. I'm doing a foundation review. You'll probably would have seen that before this. But I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and get up close and show you the finished look. But here is where we are at. I'll see you in 3, 2, 1. And here is the completed look. I did go in with a nude liner. And then I went in with some mascara. I mixed the Maybelline Sky High and Benefit Fan Fest together. So here's our look. Let me know what you guys think. I love the palette. Again, the mattes, they're just not my favorite, but they get there, they do the job. You can build them up. Not quite sure about the lemony color on like deeper skin tones, but yeah, overall beautiful. I mean, do you see how pretty that is? I love it. I'm excited. I'm thrilled to have it. Of course, I'll link all the information and everything down below. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Thank you to my beautiful channel members. I love you. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. And of course, be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.